Hello, and welcome back to A Real Horror Show. During the month of May, NECA have been revealing exciting brand new horror figures as part of their Monster MAYhem event, as well as giving us updates on previously announced spooky collectibles. So I thought it'd be a great idea to take a closer look at all the horror goodness coming our way from NECA, and break down these upcoming releases. If you're new to this channel, hello, welcome. And you love all things horror, especially horror collecting, please consider subscribing to this channel. Apparently, only a quarter of you guys who actually watch my videos are subscribed, and although I'm extremely thankful to have you guys here and hopefully you're enjoying the content, it would mean a lot to me and also really help me out a lot if you guys just slash that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to leave a like on this video and leave a comment to let me know which upcoming NECA figure you're most excited for. We're going to go in the order that these figures were announced during the month, and believe me when I say that NECA have given us some incredible reveals for this Monster MAYhem event, so let's dive into it. And we're starting things off with everyone's favourite good guy, Chucky, who is getting a very festive Ultimate figure release, appearing as he does in the Season 2 finale of the Chucky TV series. And now I've got to admit, I have not got that far with the Chucky TV series, and I have a lot of catching up to do. But I really want to see what goes down in that season finale, as this new Ultimate Chucky doesn't only look really cool, but really fun. And if you have any of the other NECA Chucky releases, you'll already know that these guys always come with no shortage in the accessories department. And the same case can be said for this guy right here. This figure will come with a total of 3 different head sculpts, one with a rather neutral face, one that has a more evil expression, and finally an absolutely maniacal looking head sculpt that is also blood splattered. The figure also features various alternate hands, a Santa list, which I'm not sure is a naughty or nice list or not, milk and cookies, a chainsaw, which is a weapon I don't think Chucky has ever actually used before, surprisingly, clean and blood splattered safety goggles, a mug which features the Chucky logo, and finally clean and blood-stained Santa hats and a very cute ho 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 sweater. Oh, and of course a kitchen knife. What would Chucky be without that? As you can see from the paint job, this is a very bloody figure, but something that I think is very clever here is that with the removable Christmas sweater, you can cover that up and use the clean version of the accessories to alternate between a rather gory looking Chucky to then a very wholesome, cozy and festive Chucky. And I love the promotional images that NECA have put out for this guy, especially this one here of Chucky enjoying some cookies and a hot beverage in front of the open fire. But despite this being a very Christmassy collectible, you won't have to wait for Santa Claus to bring you this Ultimate Chucky, as he is set to release in September of this year. And next up, we have a couple more rather festive figures coming our way from NECA, as we have finally been given a release date and promotional images for the long-awaited Krampus figure. And this guy was announced way back in 2021, I think? And we have a new reveal of the clown to coincide with him. So, starting with the clown, I've got to say straight off the bat, this guy is pure nightmare fuel. This terrifying deluxe figure is over 10 inches long and features an articulated tail which ends in his jack-in-the-box, which also has a hinged lid. Additionally, the figure will come with a handkerchief, an extra hand, and 3 interchangeable mouthpieces, the last of which allows you to attach a pair of legs to depict the monster devouring his victim. I honestly think that the sculpting and paintwork on this guy looks incredible, and this may be one of the most genuinely creepy collectibles that I've seen in quite a while. And then of course we have Krampus himself. Standing over 10 inches tall, this guy's an absolute beast, quite literally, and it's safe to say that this was a release that was more than worth the wait. This deluxe figure will certainly be an impressive display piece to say the least, and NECA have done an incredible job of bringing Krampus to action figure form. The paintwork and sheer detail on display here is insane, and I really think this figure speaks for itself. On top of the amazing sculpting work going on here, Krampus is also draped in real chains and padlocks for that added detail, and he also features 2 extra tongues, one of which is posable, to give him an extra freaky appearance. Krampus also comes with a number of accessories that include a Krampus bell in a box and in wrapping paper, and of course his snow globe. Krampus will also come with a few interchangeable hands to hold his accessories or recreate different poses. Overall, these fearsome and festive releases look incredible, and NECA have done a top-notch job with both of them. I think besides the American Werewolf in London Kessler Wolf, these must be 2 of the largest 7-inch scale action figures that NECA have ever released, and are certainly going to be standout collectibles amongst NECA's other horror action figures. Both Krampus and the Clown are up for pre-order now and are scheduled to be shipping out in October of this year, just in time for Christmas. And the next brand new figure announcement we got from NECA is the newest addition to their Elvira line, with this retro cloth over the rainbow Elvira figure figure to celebrate Pride Month, and since Pride Month is now the month of June, this figure is already available and can be ordered online from the NECA online store. Now, when this figure was announced, it did come with its fair share of controversy, and I think you can clearly see why. Elvira isn't wearing her iconic black dress. What did you guys think the controversy was about? To get serious for just a second though, in this day and age and all over the internet, we are constantly just bombarded with politics, and it's honestly just so exhausting. But in my opinion, not only is this a pretty cool looking action figure, but also a very fitting action figure, as Cassandra Peterson, who plays Elvira, is gay herself. And Elvira has been an icon within the gay community for decades now. And again, I don't want to dive into politics myself because I'm not here for that. Like I said, it's exhausting. And you know, movies and toys and fun stuff, you know, stuff that we really love and enjoy is kind of a breakaway from that. It's kind of like, it should be an escape from it really. But I've got to say, I do find it kind of funny when certain horror fans, you know, kick off about this kind of thing and get really riled up and angry. Because at the end of the day, horror movies are a genre that's full of blood and violence, guts and gore and all kinds of stuff that many people could be offended by. So I find it funny how some horror fans can be so offended by things. You know, it comes to a point where you've got to ask, you know, who are the real snowflakes here, you know? But anyway, let's get back to the figure. As you can see, the Queen of Halloween is decked out in a rainbow gown and features ruby red heels and a yellow brick road display base, as a nod of course to the iconic 1939 classic The Wizard of Oz. She also comes with a book accessory of Cassandra Peterson's memoir, Yours Cruelly, Elvira, a customizable pride flag with stickers and additional hands and an alternate faceplate to recreate her signature pose. And NECA are doing something slightly different here with the choice of going with this faceplate to swap out instead of an entirely alternate head, but it seems to do the job perfectly here, and I guess it saves resources too. This release hit the NECA store with an initial limited edition variant that came with a signed card from the Mistress of the Dark herself, but that sold out pretty much right away. However, as I said earlier, the figure itself is available for order right now. And additionally, we have been given an update on the Ultimate Christopher Lee Dracula figure that was announced at last year's New York Toy Fair. The figure will be hitting store shelves at the back end of the year, but is currently up for pre-order on the NECA store website, where he is scheduled for a September shipping date. And this is a figure that I've been extremely excited for, mainly because Christopher Lee is probably my favourite Dracula, and these brand new product images from NECA look incredible. Based on his appearance in 1958's Horror of Dracula, the Count comes with extra hands, a shovel and 2 candlesticks, one of which is ready to be launched at Van Helsing. And I really hope that NECA plan on producing a Peter Cushing Van Helsing figure, especially now that they've officially stated that this Dracula figure is just the first in a whole Hammer line of action figures that they're going to make. They've already tackled the iconic Universal monsters, so now it's time for Hammer Horror. Dracula also features a removable fabric cape and comes with a total of 3 head sculpts. One with a neutral face, one with a pissed off face, and one with an absolutely batshit crazy expression, which is the imagery that I think of first when I think of Horror of Dracula and Christopher Lee's portrayal. Overall, this figure has a spectacular likeness to Christopher Lee and captures his appearance in the role of Dracula perfectly. From the vivid red blood to the demented facial expression, this is certainly a must-have for any horror collection. And now we're going to take a look at what is by far the most exciting announcement from the Monster MAYhem event, and it's also one of the greatest collectible announcements from NECA ever. If you were to ask me to make a wish list of horror characters or movies that I want to see translated into action figure form, I can guarantee you that this would have been at the top of my list, and it has been for years now. So this is a dream come true really. And it's this incredible An American Werewolf in London 2-pack of David Kessler and Jack Goodman. Finally, this is happening, and our prayers have been answered for these 2 characters from one of the all-time great horror movies to finally get an action figure release. But what makes this so much better is that, for one, it's NECA that are bringing it to us, and second of all, it's an ultimate figure pack that includes both Jack and David in a double deluxe set. I already know that this is going to be up there on my list of my all-time favourite NECA releases, along with the Evil Dead 2 2-pack that came out out a few years ago. So first things first, both of these figures have a fantastic likeness of both David Norton and Griffin Dunne, and the sculpting work on both of these figures is spot on. As for the paint application, the work on display here in these product images is just fantastic, and I especially love the glossy paintwork on their coats. It really sells the look of their shiny down jackets. When it comes to the David Kessler figure, NECA have also included an alternate head depicting David's terrifying expression in the infamous nightmare sequence of the film. And if you saw my previous video talking about the art prints in my collection, you'll know that that scene scarred me as a kid. And I find it really cool that the first scene of any horror movie that I ever saw is being represented in action figure form. Now when it comes to Jack, this is really where this 2-pack goes from a fantastic release to an exceptional one, as Jack doesn't only come with multiple head sculpts that depict his progression of becoming more and more decayed throughout the movie, but he also comes with swappable hands, arms, and an entire alternate coat piece, so he's essentially 2 or 3 figures in one. This is something about this release that I extremely appreciate, because fans of the movie have been saying for years that not only do they want a figure of Jack and David, but it would also be great if the figure came with alternate parts for Jack. And NECA have obviously heard the fans' wishes and followed through with it, and I'm very excited to see the box art reveal, as I have a feeling the packaging for this set will also be just stunning, and it's safe to say that they'll make for an incredible display piece for all the American Werewolf in London and horror fans in general out there. I can't wait to see some of the dioramas that people create for these guys, either depicting them walking across the Yorkshire moors like in the movie's opening, or even sat inside the Slaughtered Lamb pub. When NECA came out with the Kessler Wolf release and the Nightmare Demon figure, I thought that would be it when it came to this license, but they have followed through and brought us what will most definitely be the horror figure release of the year. Oh, and I nearly forgot to say, these guys are expected to hit store shelves sometime in October, the spooky month, or around November time. Now, much like the Christopher Lee Dracula figure we just took a look at, NECA has given us another update on another upcoming ultimate figure, this time of the one and only Mr. Vincent Price. And as you can see from these new product images, this figure captures the likeness of the horror legend in amazing detail, and comes with a total of 3 head sculpts with different expressions. I really love the fact that he comes with multiple necktie pieces, and that one of the sculpts depicts an older Vincent Price, so you can customize the figure to represent the Merchant of Menace in different stages of his long and legendary career. In terms of accessories, there is certainly no shortage here, as Mr. Price comes with interchangeable hands, a teacup and saucer, a cigarette, a candlestick, vinyl records, a skull, a black cat, I'm running out of breath, a raven with an extra arm that it can perch on, and finally a Vincent Price cookbook. Not only was Vincent Price a screen legend, but he was a gourmet cook as well. This ultimate figure of one of horror's most beloved legends is scheduled for release this September. And so that brings us to the final reveal of NECA's Monster MAYhem. If you've enjoyed this video, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And don't forget to leave that comment down below letting me know which upcoming NECA figure you're most excited for. And also which ones will you be picking up for your own horror collection. Last but not least, NECA announced the Series 10 figures of their Toony Terrors line. And to celebrate the milestone of the 10th series, they're bringing us a selection of classic Universal monsters in that Hanna-Barbera Saturday morning cartoon style that the figure line is known for. Included in this series, we've got Bela Lugosi's Dracula, Lon Chaney Jr. as the Wolfman, and the incomparable Boris Karloff as both the Mummy and, of course, Frankenstein's monster. These guys are really cool little collectibles, and something that I really love is how NECA translated these characters into this stylized form, while still keeping an accurate likeness of these icons. In particular, Dracula and the Mummy both still look the spitting image of Bela Lugosi and Boris Karloff. All 4 figures will come in the blister card packaging with a cutout background for display, and they will be releasing in October of this year, just in time for Halloween. So that concludes today's video, guys. It's safe to say that NECA are treating us with some spooky releases this year. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and feelings on these announcements in the comment section below, and until next time, guys, take care.